The mayor's $16.7 billion budget passes by a vote of 35 to 15, and her property tax hike passes as well, but with fewer votes. Here with all that and more is our Spotlight Politics team, Heather Sharon, Amanda Vinicky, and Paris Schutz. So everybody, as we heard earlier, Mayor Lightfoot's budget sailed through City Council today. Take a look at some of what she said this afternoon.
That's why, ladies and gentlemen, I am so proud of this budget. Truly the most progressive and forward-looking budget in our city's history.
And Heather, property taxes going up slightly in addition to the hike tied to the rate of inflation. Will there be any political ramifications for this hike?
Well, it's hard to say because it is only going to amount to about $38 a year for the owner of a home worth $250,000. But for some aldermen, it was just a deal breaker that they couldn't ask their voters to pay more. And of course, the next round of municipal elections isn't that far away in 2023. And it just seemed to several people as just a little bit of insult to injury, especially because there's so much spending on just a wide range of other social safety net programs.
And Heather, City Council also approved $500 monthly payments to 5,000 low-income Chicagoans. Who qualifies for this?
Well, that is really the $500 question, Brandis. We just don't know how the city is going to choose these families and what criteria they'll have to meet. And that's something that the City Council's Black Caucus Chair, Alderman Jason Irvin, told me he'll be looking at very closely, because this is one of those programs where really the devil is in the details. His caucus has been pushing for reparations to the descendants of enslaved African Americans. So I know he's hoping to maybe shape this program to maybe address that desire in at least a start way.
And this is just a pilot, right, for 1 year?
Right. This is just 1 year, and it will be the largest in the nation. And you heard Mayor Lori Lightfoot say that was one of the reasons she's very proud of this budget.
Paris, there's borrowing in this budget in spite of a windfall from the federal government. Why is that?
That was, I think, to get progressive votes on board for this budget, because a lot of progressives or the Democratic Socialist Caucus were upset that $2 billion in federal money, a lot of it was going to pay back a lot of high-interest borrowing that happened during the pandemic and holes that were cut into the budget because of the pandemic. They wanted more of that for social spending programs, and so the compromise here appears to be the $660 million in borrowing to spend on the rest of those programs. Remains to be seen whether the city can really afford that over the long term with its debt position. Although, as Scott Waguespack, the alderman, mentioned yesterday, it did get a ratings notch upgrade this week. So, you know, the other thing I got to watch for is these programs. There are a lot of new programs. Will they be sustainable in years to come where there won't be federal bailout money?
And Heather, some older people have also forced a meeting on the mayor's vaccine mandate for Friday. Give us a preview.
Well, 13 aldermen signed a letter forcing a meeting at 11 a.m. Friday, and they are going to take another crack at passing their measure, which was blocked from advancing on Monday, that would roll back the vaccine mandate imposed by Mayor Lori Lightfoot. Some of them oppose the vaccine mandate and say it's none of the city's business. Others say that Mayor Lightfoot should have gone through the city council and had the aldermen weigh in as they try to craft a compromise. 26 aldermen will have to show up on Friday for this meeting to take place. After the city council meeting today, the mayor didn't take questions about that special meeting, saying she wanted to focus on the celebration of her budget. So we'll have to see if the city council will meet for the third time this week.
Okay. And then, of course, speaking of vaccine mandates, state lawmakers will debate on the House floor whether Illinois residents should not be able to use the state's Health Care Right of Conscience Act to skirt the governor's public employee mandate. Amanda, who and what was this right of conscience law intended to cover, and what's the over/under? What's going on?
Well, so this law was really intended for a narrow scope for doctors who don't want to perform abortions, except for it isn't written in that way. It doesn't reference abortion. It's written in a very broad fashion. And so actually the House still tonight could take up voting on narrowing that scope some by explicitly stating that employers, so the state of Illinois, but also private businesses, would be able to include COVID mandate sort of requirements for masking, testing, vaccination vaccinations, those sort of things. The over-under, we will see pushed back debate by at least about an hour or so as legislators continue to meet behind closed doors about this. And we could see it passing because there is an amendment on the legislation that would mean it won't take effect immediately, and that is in place because it's easier to pass. You need to have a supermajority for anything that is going to take effect right away. Of course, that provides a little bit of a problem, however, because you have really an avalanche of lawsuits over this, citing this law, and so if you have Illinois wanting to keep up with the mandate, well, delaying any sort of change to the Right of Conscience Act could cause some trouble for those mandates staying around.
And we know that abortion itself actually is on the agenda this week. Changes to the parental notification abortion law passed in the Senate in spite of a big showing from faith leaders who protested against the repeal. Heather, is this going to be a tough vote for the Dems?
Well, it will be a tough vote for some Democrats, but, several years ago, after Governor J.B. Pritzker took office, he said he wanted to make Illinois the most progressive state in the nation when it comes to reproductive rights, and this is certainly part of that effort. This law has only been on the books since 2019, and it is opposed by reproductive rights advocates because they say that it falls most heavily on women and girls who are in unsafe situations. So it has long been sort of at the top of reproductive rights advocates' wish lists to repeal. We'll have to see if it will get done now in this post-Texas world with the Supreme Court weighing the future of Roe versus Wade.
Right. I was going to say, the politics here is this is occurring in a time where there are states like Texas, Mississippi, putting more abortion restrictions in place and really challenging Roe v. Wade. So Illinois, this is good politics for Illinois to, at least for Illinois Democrats, to be seen as taking this state in the other direction, because that issue has proven to be a wedge issue. There are midterms coming up. It proves to get people mobilized and knocking on doors and perhaps getting out and voting in midterms.
And of course, lawmakers are also working on the latest incarnation of the congressional map. Amanda, clearly they listened to the blowback about the first map. What's the scuttlebutt on this one? And are they still negotiating behind closed doors?
They very much are, and alas, they are closed doors, so I'm not in on those meetings, but very clearly discussions continue to take place, because I had seen actually the president of the state Senate a couple weeks ago, and he said, that is the priority really for getting done this veto session, passing those congressional maps, and yet we haven't seen a final version. Seems as if that still could come tonight. Again, lots still going on. If not, it'll be tomorrow. That will be the day for maps. One of the areas of concern is that the latest version does create two maps that are designed to have a lot of Latino voters. But there are those that say, wait a second, is that dividing the Latino population up too much and then not giving a guaranteed Latino majority seat? So that is among the concerns, at least I imagine, and from what I'm hearing, because again, this really is a very secretive process and one that we don't have a ton about, don't know a ton about until those maps will come out and then presumably be voted on in short order.
Okay, obviously something that all of you are keeping an eye on. That's Spotlight. Heather Sharoon, Amanda Vinicky, and Paris Schutz.